Hi, everyone. It's Cory, Jennie, and Lindsey back with some tips for you as you are working from home and managing online learning for either yourself or your kids or whoever it might be. If you need some tips in these areas, hopefully we've got some good ones for you. I don't know. I mean, who knows? We've done this for a while. Doesn't mean necessarily we do it well. So, I mean, here we go. So this video, we're going to talk about shifting from working in a workplace with colleagues and, actual copiers and things like that to working from home. Restrooms you don't have to clean to restrooms you do have to clean on your own, those kinds of things. And I'm kind of taking the lead on this one because I'm the one who with the most recent experience doing this, because Jennie and Lindsey, you've been working from home. You did online teaching. You're online teachers for a couple of years before joining Sibme, right? So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I came from working in Texas, having an office, and working remotely maybe once a month. If it was by approval only from the director, up to once or twice a month that you could do it. To taking a job where I was working fully at home. So I did a lot of research on this, and I don't know if y'all did this when you began your online teaching or not, but I really felt I was a little stressed. So this all happened. I joined the Sibme team in the middle of, or just before we moved from Texas to Ohio with my husband and 3 kids. And I was a little stressed about it. I'm a diehard Texan, and so it was really hard for me. Like, I've got my little Texas necklace, my Texas jewelry everywhere. But I heard Lindsey's dog there. She's like, "You left Texas. Why would you do that?" But I feel the same. No, I love it here, but I really was nervous. So like I had this deep sense to prepare and control. We talked about being perfectionists in another episode. And so, so I did a lot of research on this, and I just want to share a couple of the things that I heard and tried. And then we're going to share a little bit of what actually works for us. So, one of the things, a couple of the big tips were to make a dedicated space for work to happen, not to work from your kitchen table or from your bedroom or on your couch. The places where you kind of relax and all of those things should not be your workplace. Even if it's a tiny corner that you kind of section off, you want to have a dedicated space for work so you can actually leave the office. And that was a big concern of mine because I was already bringing work home. As educators, we do that all the time anyway. But I was bringing work home a lot, and I'd at least attempt to bring it home. Sometimes it never left the car, but other times I was up really late doing this work, and then I'd go to work. So I was really worried about the ability to cut work off and focus on family when I was working from the same environment. So another one is to dress for work, like get up in the morning and brush your teeth, even though you're not going to be breathing near anybody, and get dressed for work, like put on your work clothes and not stay in your pajamas. Creating a schedule that works for you. If you have flexibility in your schedule, having a place where you can get out. So if you anticipate the need for a change of scenery, so having a place to get out, like a coffee shop or a local bookstore where you can go and kind of work remotely from there, and then purposely engage with colleagues. So those were the big tips from all the blogs and the gurus and people who have gone there before me in all of this. And Jennie and Lindsey, what does that look like for you? Did you do this, by the way, or am I the only one who was like really concerned about this? Lindsey shaking her head yes.
I totally tried to do the have a dedicated workspace thing. And I did that for quite a while, but what I found is that like it just gets kind of old, so now I roam a little bit more, like the last few days I've been in this space, but we have a little office space that I sometimes work in, or sometimes it's the dining room table, or sometimes it's my room. I mean, it just, I roam a little bit more than I thought I would, but it's just kind of nice to have a change of pace for me right now,
Yeah.
I also tried the dedicated workspace and found that my kids have always been home with me. And so I need to be in the thick of things. So I work from my kitchen. And so and just from my kitchen table. And it helps because I can keep an eye on everybody, and it helps that if they have a need, I can see them. But for me, I need to be in the middle, in the thick of it, and even if I'm working, that's still where I stay.
Yeah.
And that's just another skill, right, that you've had to learn to do, is like to be able to work intently and also have that, you know, like be able to multitask and have that peripheral vision. Maybe that comes from being a teacher too, you know?
Yep. Agreed.
It reminds me of, so in a sense, you're in a co-working space, Jennie, just with lots of really young coworkers, right? Someone had posted something on a Facebook or somewhere that was like, okay, so we're all working from home. I want you to post something that happened today with your kids, but instead of kid, write coworker. And it's pretty comical. So, like, my coworker had a tantrum in the middle of the kitchen because her snack wasn't the right snack. So
my coworker opened a very loud bag of potato chips in the last video.
There you go. Yeah. Too bad we couldn't snap at our coworkers before, right? I mean, if there were some people I would have snapped at. I'm just saying.